Good morning, 9 o'clock, August 22nd, 2023 on a Tuesday. Boy, do I have topics today. Holy moly. I, oh, with all this effort, I thought I had everything set up right. But I forgot to mute Baby Beast. All right, so I've got audio confirmation. It took a while to get audio working this morning. I actually did I've already done 2 live streams within the last 20 minutes. Here I did this test that was doesn't tell us how long ago it was, and then this one to get my audio working. Good grief, Miss Molly. Let's go to Martin Hogg's questions from the chat room yesterday. I had this 904 Selden Ball. For what it's worth, it seems SanDisk Extreme SSDs have been failing with bad firmware, causing several class action lawsuits to be initiated. The link is too long. So I went and Googled it, and yeah, there does seem to be some big deal going on there. I'm not going to spend any more time on it than to acknowledge that. Then Martin Hogg says, hi all, has anyone got a reliable cure for the error message, modern setup host has stopped working when trying to upgrade from Windows 8.1 to Windows 10. Now, Martin sent me another email on this subject this morning. I did go do some research on it yesterday, but here, let me give you the rest of what he gave me this morning, 20 minutes ago. I need some help, please. I have customers HP Pavilion laptop, which I have upgraded with an SSD, but it fails to install Windows 10. Get message, modern update client has stopped working, and I'm unable to boot to USB for a clean install. Help. Unable to boot to even a USB memory stick. So I gotta know, why can you not boot to the USB memory stick? What is happening when you try to do that? How are you trying to do it? So you can't, let's see, is Windows 8.1 actually running on this computer? Can you get to that and then use the advanced startup to tell it to reboot to the USB memory stick? If you're saying you're unable to boot to the USB because you put the USB in and you're trying to hit the keys on the keyboard and you can't get into the boot menu, well, that's solvable by getting into Windows if Windows 8.1 is still functioning. As far as this thing about that message, modern update client has stopped working, I don't think there's any point in going down that road. Here's my Google searches on that. Perform clean boot, system file checker, and DIS. This is just all the same blah, 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 blah that we're told for just about any generic problem. This is not somebody experiencing the same problem that Martin has and says, this is what solved it for me. And I went looking through these things. I didn't find anyone saying this solved that problem for me. And then come over here to this one from the Microsoft.com. Again, what they're saying here, it didn't really come up with anything that looks like a reliable solution, which is what Martin is asking for, because this implies that he's already been through Google searching and trying to find it. So I think it's time to give up on that. I also asked ChatGPT what to do with this, and I'm not going to read through this. I'll just scroll down one screen worth at a time. If anyone wants to go back and read through it later, you can do that by pausing the video on each of these screens, but none of this looks very promising either. So I'm going to say let's take a different approach at it. First approach is to get it booting from the USB memory stick, and I don't know what's happening. What method are you using to do that? Let's see, unable to boot. Why are you unable to boot? The USB port is broken. I've got nothing here about why you can't boot to a USB memory stick. Of course, I don't think it's because the USB port is broken. You probably would have mentioned that. Now, reading between the lines here, it appears that you replaced a spinning drive on a laptop with an SSD, and then you're trying to upgrade from Windows 8.1 to Windows 10. Now, you don't say the 8.1 in this message. That was somewhere else. Where was that at? Was that back? Let's see. I think here was another. Well, Lawn Dog to Martin said, truly the best way to handle the situation to do fresh install, which he's telling us he can't do. When you do an upgrade install, it doesn't always go all that smoothly. It sounds like you can't get it. Yeah, but let's not be too quick to say that, because that's very problematic sometimes to do a fresh install. That comes from people who have very simple computers without a lot of stuff installed. I think we can probably get you to a point where this will work. Now, I'm hoping when you did that upgrade from the spinning drive to the SSD, how did you do that? What did you use? Macro Reflex, something else? Did you create an image file, then restore the image to the SSD? Or did you clone it from one drive to another? Basically, whatever your answer is, how you did it, try it a different way. Try going about it a different way. Now, the upgraded SSD, I'm deducing that it is booting to Windows 8.1, and then you're trying to do the upgrade. So that sounds like the clone worked. So maybe we're okay without doing a different cloning procedure. Let's see, am I understanding this right? Let's go back to the email that he sent to me. I'm having to piece this together from like 3 different sources. I have a customer's HP Pavilion laptop, which I've upgraded with an SSD, but fails to install Windows 10. So that implies the old one had Windows 8.1, and you are able to boot the SSD to 8.1. Gets a message, client has stopped working. So that implies to do the upgrade, you're going to the Windows website for the media creation tool and performing a in-place upgrade from there, or you're putting in a Windows 10 USB and launching setup from there while you are booted into Windows 8.1. Whichever method you're using, try the other way. And I had a personal experience with that just last night, where trying it a different way worked. Where I first tried to do it online at the media creation tool, I tried to do an upgrade. This was from Windows 10 to Windows 11, and it did not work. And it tried for hours and hours and hours and hours. I let it, I don't know, I think I let it go 6-8 hours, something like that, climbing through from 1% all the way up to 99%, and then just stuck at 99% for a couple hours sitting there. Restarted the computer, failed. So then I tried from a USB memory stick, ran setup from there, and it worked. It performed the upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11. So taking a different way about the problem. The things that we got in the Google searches I don't think are useful. Now, Martin Hogg is giving some responses in chat, so let me get over there and read those into the video. Pop out chat. I'm wondering if anyone's going to ask me questions about something they noticed today. Something's different. Let's get all the way down to Martin's responses. Yes, Windows 8 running okay on the cloned SSD. Advanced startup from USB crashes. So advanced startup, what does crash mean? Advanced startup meaning you hit the Windows key and then the power button, hold down the shift key when you click restart to get into advanced startup. Or let's see, now you're doing this from Windows 8.1. So there's other ways to get to advanced startup. Whatever method you're using to get there, try a different method to get there. Yeah, what does startup from USB crashes? So does it start booting from the USB memory stick and that crashes? Perhaps you need to recreate the USB memory stick. I have tried both media creation tool and via USB. So when you're doing the media creation tool, you're not getting USB crashes is not the source of your trouble. Now, here's another idea is make an image backup of that 8.1 installation. Maybe you already have it from the spinning drive, so you have an image backup, and then try doing use diskpart to delete the partitions that are on that SSD and do a fresh install on that SSD to get something working. Now, I'm not proposing that that's what you're going to stick with, but once you get something working on that new SSD with a fresh Windows 10 install, delete the partitions using diskpart. Martin Hogg, I think you know how to do that, or you know how to find out how to do that. Delete the partitions and then do USB fresh install of Windows 10 on that drive. After that's successful, then try restoring the image backup that you made of the 8.1 installation, and then try doing the upgrade. So it's all about take a different approach at it. I don't think any of those Google searches about how to deal with that error message you're getting are worth doing. John Williams, can Martin get into the BIOS and change the boot order to the flash drive? That's a good question there too. So when you do the advanced startup, choose the option to not start from a USB, but to go into the UEFI BIOS setup. Costanza, have you tried a different USB? Yes, there you go, another USB drive. What other USB devices are in the computer being upgraded? Yeah, disconnect any other devices. Now, this is a laptop, so there's probably not much else connected to the computer, but you do want to have nothing else connected, anything that you don't need. I'd even disconnect external keyboard and mouse if you can get along with the built-in keyboard and mouse. Hello, Drew. All right, do I have anything else to say on that? I don't think so. So now, Martin, you might want to take what you're aware of from here and go work on that, or you might want to go like rewind the video and think through a little bit more. Speedy C saying my voice is back to normal. Still sounds a little bit throaty to me, but I like that. All right, now I have some other things to talk about. So which one do I want to go on to? There's no way I'm going to cover everything that I have on my plate today. Let's see. Josh's can wait. Commendator can wait. Is Commendator in the chat room? I don't think so. No. So I'll get back to that at another time. I'm checking to see if I'm clear to go on to the main topic, the thing that I want to be sure to cover today. Nobody has asked me a question. Nobody has said something. Wait a minute, Doug, I noticed something about your computer. What's going on there? Hint, hint. You still have a little bit of time to ask about that before I give it away. So I went working more on the Zoom issue. Remember, I couldn't download the older versions of Zoom yesterday, and somebody in chat, I want to say it was Wintermute, said they were able to download. Well, I tried on Baby Beast. I've tried with 3 different browsers. I tried on Baby Beast with the Opera browser. I went to a client's office, and well, I was at the client's office anyway. I tried on their computer, so that's a different internet service, a different computer setup. I think I only did it with one browser. And what I'm referring to here is when you Google search install old version of Zoom, one of the result that I want to use is this uptodown.com, and you click on that. I'm particularly interested in this 5.12.6 because I have to have 5.12.2 at least in order to sign into Zoom. The older ones won't sign in anymore. I already tried an older version of Zoom on this computer and it wouldn't let me sign in, so I could not test whether I can change to a virtual background without the computer locking up. So this is the symptom. In Zoom, when I switch to a virtual background, whether it's Blur or one of their standard virtual backgrounds or my own virtual background, the image stays on for about 1 to 2 seconds, and then the entire computer locks up. And it locks up so much so that I am unable to connect remotely to it because my Baby Beast, my Log Me and Rescue shows that it is offline. And there was, I know another piece is I had a Windows Update panel open where it's downloading files on one screen, and I tried to switch to a virtual background on another, and the downloads froze in place. So the motherboard is entirely freezing up, and on one occasion I did get a blue screen. So, but that's the objective. That's the thing I'm trying to solve. So if indeed somebody is able to download that, I'm asking you to send me an email. I will send you a link to my Google Drive and ask you to upload that older version of Zoom to my Google Drive in case I wind up needing it. Now, I got this other bright idea last night, and um, let's see, Brian says, you're using Ken Stout's computer. That's what you think is different? No. Martin Hogg, yes, boot order changed in BIOS. Tried different USB drives and fresh downloaded media creation tool. Okay, how about deleting all the partitions on the drive that's built into the computer so it won't find anything else that's bootable, and see if it will then boot into the USB. Or is there something in BIOS that's there? Now, some computers do have a setting in BIOS to prevent booting from a USB. Turn off secure boot, disable secure boot, no flashing on scrolling. That's not it. That's not it. There was an update for Zoom today. Ken has a Premiere. Yes, I am set up for Ken's Premiere. Yeah, so boot order changed. That takes me back again. Go to disk part, delete all the partitions that are on that drive, and also check in BIOS for something else that might be preventing the computer from booting to USB. Some UEFI BIOSes have that option. You got to go browsing through it to find that. Have you noticed that I have no issues on blurring and killing my system? Okay. So what was the other thing, Doug, that you tried last night? Nobody has guessed it. Nobody has guessed it. I wonder if they can guess, even if I'm trying to give them a hint, an on-screen hint of some sort. Will somebody guess what is different about Big Beast Build today? Bueller, Ken, anyone? Windows 11, Ken Stout. See there, he comes up with it. Big Beast Build has Windows 11. Wintermeat, you have Windows 11. Tim, Windows 11. Gee, I had to really push that in your face, didn't I? Now, Doug, how did that experience go of doing the upgrade to Windows 10? Not good. Oh, so not good. Well, what happened, Doug? Why don't you show us some photos? Because that's what you always do, right? You do photos to show things. Yikes. Not good. I'm bringing them up over here. Yeah, I haven't even previewed these photos. How far back does this go? Good grief, Miss Molly. I don't know which one. Where is it that I was trying to do the Windows 11? Should I show you pictures or just tell you what happened? Let's go try over here. All right. Well, I'm going to go through these. I'm not sure if I've picked a good starting point or not. This is August 22nd, last night at 1:44 a.m. You know what? That's not far enough back. Let's go back further. Let's see. That's Big Beast Build restarting. And how far back does this go? Yikes. I don't know. I think this one here, Windows Update 402. All right. So it was telling me, Big Beast Build was telling me that it's not capable of Windows 11. So I went into BIOS and, oh, here's that blue screen. This is the blue screen I got when I had one of those crashes. And it dawns on me that, yeah, so I had to go into, here's the PTT, which is the thing you have to enable for Windows 11, because I had that disabled so that it wouldn't keep bugging me about Windows 11. So I changed that to enable from disable. And then here it still says the PC doesn't currently meet. I could never get rid of that. I did the PC health check and it just continued saying this PC is not Windows 11 ready. Even though when I did the, let's see, come back here. Here I'm at the installation assistant, and I keep bringing back my camera because I don't know what I'm going to if I'm going to expose something private on one of these photos. So it's downloading 11%. I got to get through these quicker. Here's percent complete, 83%. This is at 6:33 p.m. yesterday. And then 90% at 7:14 p.m. This was going really, really slow. So here's 91% at 7:28. So there's 7:14, 7:28, 1% increase. 7:48, 2%. 8:11 p.m., 94%. Then let's see, I went in to deal with backup. So I verified first that I had a current full backup and differentials and so on. What was I doing here? Oh, that's what I was doing. I thought it was going so slow because there was actually a backup running in the background. So I went to cancel the backup that was running. I got to get through these quicker because there's way too much more to tell you. I did some watching of Task Manager. Here we're at 9:12 p.m., 96%, 99% at 12:10 a.m. Okay, going back one photo, 9:12 p.m., 96%. One photo forward, 12:10 a.m., 99%. Then 1:35 a.m., it still says 99%. It's blurry. Yeah, my eyes were kind of blurred over, right? Because I was drowsy. Next photo, 1:36. I restarted the computer. I didn't wait for anymore. I restarted the computer. What's going to happen now? And Republica Gamers BIOS, and it came back up to Windows 10. So Windows 11 failed. So now it's at 1:37 a.m. Still saying this PC doesn't meet the minimum system requirements at 1:38 a.m. So I brightly go look at PC health check, and this PC meets Windows 11 requirements. So the PC health check says this computer meets requirements, but it still says no dice. This is the Windows 11 USB thumb drive that was created August 7th. You can tell by those folder dates. So this is my fresh Windows 11 install media. So I am launching that from, you can see I've double clicked on setup exe in the background. So installing Windows 11. I said not right now for updates. I wanted to try to get it to go quickly. And then going through this upgrade install, keep personal files, install Windows 11 Pro. Hammering forward, these screens show all the feature changes and deprecations and removals for Windows 11. I thought some things there were interesting, but I'm not going to talk about those now. Ready to install. Installing Windows, 0% complete. 1:55 a.m. at the top of your screen. Then showing the three screens, and I'm watching Task Manager on two of the screens. The right screen shows installing Windows, 5% complete at 1:57. 4:01 a.m. I come back, I wake up again, and here we have getting things ready for you. This might take a few minutes. So here's Windows 11 installed at 4:03 a.m. Now, why did you do this, Doug? And it goes through installing some other updates, my RGB stuff. So, Doug, why did you do this? Well, I thought, what if, wouldn't it be interesting if Windows 11 fixes my Zoom problem and my other problems? I've already tried intelligently trying to troubleshoot it and diagnose it and fix it, and that has been unsuccessful. Well, I know that I can just go ahead and upgrade to Windows 11. If I don't like it, I can go right back to an image backup, which is just fine with me. So, Doug, did installing Windows 11 fix your problem with a virtual background in Zoom? Well, Doug, I'm glad you asked that. I don't know because I haven't tried yet. So we're going to try at the end of this show. At the end of this live stream, I'll try turning on the virtual background and see if it works. Now, I think I most recently deleted my INI file for Zoom, so I'm going to have to sign in. Take me a little bit of setup time. So I'm going to go ahead and get started pursuing that so that I can end on time. Let's see, looking at these comments, will you be staying with Windows 11? I don't know yet. If all of my troubles vanish by being on Windows 11, oh, then heck yeah. All right, so then I'm going to launch Zoom, and I think I'm going to have to go grab my username and password and sign in. Yeah, because it's coming in with a sign in screen. So let's click sign in there. Then I'll go grab my credentials while you're not spying on me. Bunch of spying people. Zoom, and copy username and copy password using RoboForm. Then come over here and put in my username, put in my password. Now it's shown in stars, so click sign in. Now, if it already has, if I'm wrong, no, it can't already be configured because it was forcing me to sign in. It can't already be configured with the virtual background. Get started. Scheduling, I'm going to skip that. You're all set. Let's go. Now, in doing all this futzing, during all this troubleshooting, one of the things that I lost was my live Windows training Zoom session is no longer in this list of recurring meetings. Well, it was based upon my personal meeting ID. So I may wind up re-customizing that. So I can go into any of these and start that. And it's join with computer audio. Yeah, I can do that. You guys won't be able to join this because you don't know the credentials for it. I'm going to turn off the mirror my video just to validate that I can do that. Then I have to select a camera because it doesn't know what camera that I want to use. And the camera that I use typically is this one. And I did try other cameras and they still lock up with the virtual background. So here I'll get this camera, and this should not freeze up right away. The freeze shouldn't happen until I try to switch to virtual camera. Now that's that one. And I've got a couple minutes to go. So then I'll go back and look at other chat. Are you aware of the changes you have to make in BIOS on the Asus motherboard? The kind of hidden in the sense they use different terminology in BIOS for the functions. Well, that was the PTT, but the PC Health Check says I'm completely qualified for Windows 11. Does this help? Let's see what that's going to do. Is it going to download? It's trying to download. He's giving me a link and Zoom installer. So what version was that? 5.12.3. 5.12.3. All right. That looks like that just gave me a download. Where did you do that from? Zoom US client. Oh, you got it on their website. Fascinating. Did you get my email? Yeah, Josh, I showed a little bit about that. I have it flagged, but I'm not doing that today. It was on a scam text message that many of us have seen. You have 3090, right? Yes, the NVIDIA 3090. I use the NVIDIA Broadcast for virtual backgrounds. It's better than what's built into Zoom. Well, I don't want to use virtual backgrounds. That's not the point. The point is there's something that's broken if I can't turn on virtual backgrounds. So yeah, I'm not interested in better. I'm just interested in functional. It should work. I should be able to turn on virtual backgrounds. But thanks for the idea, Costanza. All right. Well, it's about time. So I'll go. If the computer crashes when I restart it, I'll be able to pull up this chat room will come back up. So I'm gonna go. There's a spam phone call coming in. Get back to Zoom, and here it comes. Now, put a 0 in chat if you think it's going to fail. Put a 1 in chat if you think Windows 11 is going to solve the problem. I gotta see some results here. 0 if you think it's going to fail with Windows 11. 1 if you think it's going to work with Windows 11. Here we come. There's some voting. 0 means it's going to fail when I try to turn on virtual background. 1 means it's going to work. Yeah, we've got people on both sides of this. If this works, if this is successful, all of the people who love to hate Windows 11 are going to start hating me as well. All right, choose virtual background. And I'll take this one. Here we go. What's it going to do? What's it going to do? It should have locked up by now. It should have locked up by now. This is working better than it was working with Windows 10. Windows 11 solved, looks like Windows 11 solved the problem. I was going to be a 0. I was going to be a 0. I got to talk to this